Yo, what is going on YouTube? It's Lights from Madden Daily, and I want to talk about something that we started already doing for the Madden 23 season, and that's a brand new Madden Daily podcast that we did on our Madden Daily website for the whole month of July, since July 1st till today. And we did a podcast episode every single day talking about everything that we know about Madden 23 based off what we played in the beta, including everything we know about pass rush in Madden 23, discussing the game with several of our Madden Daily staff members, breaking down zones and man, cover 3 zone, its own episode on that, its own episode on cover 2 zone, cover 4, match and drop zone for cover 4, breaking down man defense in Madden 23, different blitzes and just blitzing in general, the different concepts that are going to be effective in Madden 23. Some early thoughts on offense. We talked about how bad the playbooks are in Madden 23, how good high points are and how bad low balls are in Madden 23. Breaking down our favorite playbook in the game, which is the Jets offensive playbook. Definitely expect content right away on that playbook. And we talked about this in a lot of detail, 28 minutes worth of us going through that playbook and why we love it so much and why we think some of the formations in the Jets book are going to be one of the best. A lot of nuggets, a lot of tips, a lot of knowledge in these episodes. We discuss some of our favorite plays and routes in Madden 23 in that Jets book. We talk about the best offensive abilities in Madden 23, the best defensive abilities in Madden 23. We did do an episode on franchise mode on CFM because there were a lot of changes throughout the summer. They did a deep dive blog, so we wanted to talk about that as one of our episodes for those that are interested in that. We did talk about shotgun versus under center, what we think is going to be best in Madden 23. It's a roundtable discussion with multiple of us on an episode talking about what we think is going to be better, what we prefer in the game based off what we played. Same thing with blitzing versus pass rush, what we think is going to be the better style, blitzing heavily or sending 4-man rush and just mixing in the coverages and adjusting, manning people up, etc. Man versus zone, what we think is going to be better. Is it going to be man defense or a certain type of zone defense? We talk about running the ball, everything you need to know about the run game in Madden 23. That's a really good one for those that want to run the ball. Literally everything that we found out about this game through the beta, we shared in these episodes every single day. Gun trips tight end versus bunch tight end, what we think will be better, what we think is going to be good or bad about these formations. Do we think one of them or both of them will be the most popular formations in the game, or do we think it's going to be gun bunch? We talk about what we are planning on doing day 1, hour 1, as soon as we get our hands on the official game, what we're going to be doing for the website. Here is what to expect when facing gun bunch. Gun bunch is probably going to be very popular. We talk about how we would go about stopping it and what makes gun bunch so good. What are the plays? What are the routes? What are the concepts? What we expect people are going to do based off what we played. We played a lot of competitive guys in the beta, so we kind of already know what's going to be, what we're going to see right away as soon as the game drops. Same thing with 2-4-5 odd. That's going to be one of the more popular defenses. We talk about that. We talk about what to expect and how to defend it or how to beat it. So that's another good episode. We continue on now talking about mobile quarterbacks. So escape artist is no longer an ability in Madden 23. We did an episode on if we think they will still be effective even though you don't have escape artists. Is there going to be a reason to go for a Michael Vick or Lamar Jackson in Madden Ultimate Team or anyone with speed? Is there a reason for using them if we don't have escape artists? We did an episode on that. We did an episode on some of the best routes in the game, corners, crossers, and post routes, how to best effectively use them, and some things that you can no longer do with these routes that you used to in past years. So again, this is from us being able to lab the game and kind of understanding how Madden 23 already works. We couldn't do videos on Madden 23. That was against the rules. You can't show footage of the game, but we could talk about it. So that's why we thought it was the best idea was to start a podcast on it. Our thoughts on spread formations in Madden 23. So we covered an episode on bunch, trips tight end, bunch tight end, running the ball, shotgun versus under center, now spread, our thoughts on it, what we think. Do we think spread is going to be effective, or do we think compression is better? Skill-based passing versus classic passing. Those are the two different forms of throwing the ball. Skill-based passing is new. We talk about everything we know about that and if we think it's going to be the way to go, or do we think more people will use classic. So we did an episode on that. Building your first MUT team in Madden 23. Building a team in general based off positional value. And creating a budget squad. What we think is going to be the most important positions to go for right away. And what we think maybe you can save on by not spending as much on a position and still having a really good day 1 team. So that's a really good episode for those that are playing MUT. I think a lot of that can also apply to building a CFM team as well, if you do have customization in your league and are able to make a lot of trades. Can gun U-trips be the best formation in Madden 23? Again, we tried to cover every possible top formation in the game and share tidbits, tips, things that we know about this formation that you might not know, especially that relates to Madden 23. And if we do still think it's going to be one of the top formations or the top formation in the game. Then we did some other off-meta, out-of-the-box type stuff, like here's a theory crafting episode. Could using 6-0 linemen be an actual thing in the game? Just based off how bad tight ends blocked in the game. We just, started doing some episodes like that. That was our final one before, just talking about what's next for us. We're still going to be doing content throughout the month of August before the game comes out. So from today to August 16th, we're going to start doing additional things for our members, but that is going to be it for the podcast until the game officially comes out. Then we're going to start doing podcasts again. But I wanted to let our YouTube family know about it. I do want to start doing content in general all of the time. As you can see, we successfully did an episode every single day. So we did 32 episodes in total for our podcast, and I think it was very, a lot of knowledge was dropped. It's very beneficial to listen to if you are hungry into learning more about Madden 23 and you want to get be a step ahead, because I might not be the greatest Madden player, but I think I am one of the best at finding things right away, and so is our team with Madden Daily, and we all collaborated onto with all of these topics. So I feel like at the end of these episodes, once you're done, you're gonna know pretty much everything that I know about Madden 23. So you kind of got in my head of everything that I labbed and found in the beta. You'll be able to know just by listening to these podcasts, and it's completely free. So I wanted to share it to you guys. Link is in the description to check them out. I think you guys are really going to like it. And just to end this video, I do want to share one of these episodes on YouTube. I'll do Let's Talk Pass Rush. So this is me just going into, it's the second episode of the podcast, so it will be me still introducing it, saying that it's, July 1st or July 2nd. July 1st, and what we plan on doing. So this is our literally pretty much the first topic of the podcast. So I think you guys will enjoy it. There's some, good information on there, but I definitely advise you checking out all of these episodes. You will learn a lot about the game, and I do think that it will be beneficial for you as you open the game. A lot of this is going to translate, and whatever doesn't translate, we will let you guys know as soon as the game comes out, with one more podcast talking about what we talked about, what is actually still in the game and what's not. I do have a hunch that most of this will still be in the game because the beta was so successful. A lot of people really liked it, so I don't think they're going to touch on it too much. So I think a lot of what we found in the beta will still apply, and I definitely advise you checking this out, okay? Hope you guys enjoy these podcast episodes. For those that do check it out, I will see you guys very soon for more YouTube videos. I might, drop a couple other podcast episodes for those that, still aren't checking them out yet. Maybe I'll do like a cover 3 defense. This is literally everything you need to know about cover 3 in Madden 23. And we did that for every single coverage. Like just these alone, I think would help you a lot, because we talk about the weaknesses of a lot of them and the strengths of why you would use them. I think you actually would be pretty impressed with these episodes. Every one of our members that have listened to it, we're very happy and excited about it, and I'm glad we did it, so I wanted to also share it to you guys. So expect more content from us very shortly on Madden 23 for Madden Daily, on our YouTube, on our website, on our free Discord. Link to our Discord is below. That's something you definitely should come in, because we talk Madden 24/7 in there and are willing to help every single person that asks questions when the game does come out. So just looking to help as much as possible this year and be out there to show everything that I know. Some of it will be free content, some of it will be in our membership and ebooks and game plans and things like that, but I do want to help as many people and give as much value as possible. So that's going to be the goal for me for this year. So check out those podcast episodes. You will not be disappointed. Until next time, it's Lights from Madden Daily. Later. Yo, what is going on, guys? It's Lights. Hope you're all having a great summer. For the month of July, we want to start providing you guys with some Madden 23 content to get the ball rolling, start getting used to doing content again. Can't really do videos because we don't have Madden 23, the game, but we did play the beta, and we can talk about what we learned from the beta, everything we liked about it, disliked, and everything we broke down from it. everything we know. Like, we can give you guys tips and strategies, the things that we like the best, as far as playbooks, offenses, defenses, blitzes, things like that. We can start kind of talking about it, and that's going to be what we're going to do for the month of July starting today. Now, there are going to be times where I jump on this type of podcast audio file with Bro Bean, sometimes with Rich. For this one, I'm rocking solo. I am going to talk about pass rush. All right, so pass rush in Madden 23 is a lot different than Madden 22. In Madden 22, next gen and current gen, both ways to generate pass rush wasn't good at all. For next gen, you pretty much needed to get double teams, like win off a double team, right? So like, say your defensive tackle gets double teamed, he sheds the double team and comes in. You would need post up in order to prevent that, right? And it didn't really matter which defensive tackle you had. Like, I don't really think ratings matter too much. It's just if he got double teamed, he was going to shed that, unless you have the post up ability on one of your guards or center. But as far as single blocked pass rushers, they really didn't come in. Very rarely, even edge rushers, even with edge threat, it just wouldn't trigger properly. So you weren't really, there weren't great ways to generate a pass rush with a 3-man, 4-man, even 5-man rush, unless you're getting someone free. Now in Madden 22, even if you got one guy in free, even if you got two guys in free, with Escape Artist, you can just roll out right past them and dumb out their angle, their blitz angle, right? The pursuit angle was just really, really bad in Madden 22, and it truly didn't matter what defense you were in. I know last year we had some pretty good contained defenses that I put out with the nickel normal, the double loop, and then I was doing that at a 3-4 odd as well. And Rich came out with some really good defenses also in the MVP membership that, you know, was good for the offensive meta in Madden 22. But at the end of the day, if someone knew what they were doing, there were pretty easy ways to buy time, especially rolling out. And then coverage was so bad, one-play touchdowns were so easy, you were able to get explosive after explosive play over and over again in Madden 22. It was absolutely awful. So they made a very big effort to stop that, right? To make sure pass rush is better, to make sure that you can't roll out as easily, and make sure you can't get one-play touchdowns or even big plays as easily. And that's definitely the case. At least it was the case in the beta. Things may change a little bit, but I really don't think so. It looks like that's a key point for them, is to limit the easy one-play touchdowns. Something that was in the beta that's definitely staying is Escape Artist is no longer an ability. It's an X Factor now. So just the simple fact of not having Escape Artist is going to make it harder to obviously roll out. And then quarterbacks, even fast ones that try to roll out, the way that they contain with the defensive line or your pass rushers and how they disengage to the outside, you're not going to be able to successfully do that as a game plan, right? Like as a strategy to constantly roll out and make plays. It's not going to happen in this game. So that's really good. I mean, it's a real big change because it is going to affect the way you can play defense in Madden 23. In Madden 22, you literally needed to have contains, and they needed to be like in a spot where they can't be double teamed, right? That's why we liked the double loop from the linebacker position. You don't have to do that. You can actually send a stock defense and start adjusting your coverage or start mixing in. If I'm going to be in cover 3 this play, I'm going to be in match next play, whatever it is. You can do that without relying on, am I containing the quarterback properly? Do I need a spy? Is this contain going to get double teamed? Like, that is not an issue anymore. And that is a huge relief. And it really opens up what you can do, including sending dual side pressures. Because like I said, in Madden 22, even if you got dual side, two guys coming in free, the pursuit was so poor that you can literally take off as they're coming in free with Escape Artist and just roll out right past them. That is not the case. So that opens up everything between blitzing, pass rush, and just not having to focus on the quarterback rolling out is huge. Now, coverage, we'll talk about coverage in separate videos, right? I want to do videos on man, on cover 3, on cover 4, on cover 2. Like, literally a video on everything. We're going to do one of these every single day in July. That's 31 videos. So there's going to be a lot to talk about. But just briefly, I don't want to spend too much time on coverage, but coverage was really good to start the beta. They broke on the ball. As soon as you press that icon to throw it, they were reacting super fast. They had eyes in the back of their heads. They were reacting a little bit too good. I'm glad that they adjusted the reaction time on how people broke on ball, but coverage is still pretty good. And coverage is always going to be better with a good pass rush. So pass rush in Madden 23 is amazing. It's the best it's been in a long time. You are going to see instant wins, especially with edge threat. But even without edge threat, if you have a good defensive end rushing one-on-one on a tackle, and that tackle doesn't have an ability or just isn't that great, they can win, and they can win very fast. And then on the inside, same thing. You can win off a double team, but you can also win one-on-one, and they actually get animations. That's a big thing. Like, you actually see AI defenders go for swim moves or spin moves or rip moves. And, like, you don't have to actually be using that guy to perform those moves. It looks realistic, and the pocket collapses pretty realistically, in my opinion. The only concern I have is that poor pass rushers seem to be winning a little bit in the beta. Probably more than a little bit, but you know, for us not really studying it, but just seeing it with our, you know, not really paying attention, they were winning. Like, everyone was winning. So that's something that's a little bit concerning to me. I'm hoping that it was just maybe the offensive line for every Regs team, especially with the ratings not being super accurate, and rookie players, like, rookie ratings are nowhere near close. All of them were like in the 50s or 60s. So I'm hoping that once like, say you're playing Madden Ultimate Team or CFM or whatever, and you have a solid offensive line with, you know, guys in the 80s, 90 pass block, finesse power, defenders aren't gonna win instantly. Like, the only times I want to see them win instantly super fast is if they are much better of a pass rush. Their power move or finesse move is much better than their pass block, right? So we will see how that is when the game comes out. But just the feel of it, the way the pocket collapses and breaks down, you really don't have that much time. And me personally, I do like it. I did notice that, like, if you're facing the Chargers in the beta, they have Khalil Mack and Joey Bosa with edge threats, and they were winning very quickly, right? Like, that was a big difference than when I was messing around with the Jets. And, you know, we have a decent pass rush defensive line, but nothing close to the Chargers and no abilities, and they weren't winning as quickly. Another thing to note is all of us were playing with Madden Daily, Bro Beam, Rich, a lot of our guys, we were mainly playing on All Madden, like player friend games, right? All Madden pass rush did seem to be better than All Pro. So we didn't play a lot of MUT. I am actually curious, for those that are listening, if you can provide in the comments how you thought pass rush was, especially on All Pro and especially on MUT, because I'm interested to see, with the ratings being lower, speed being lower, how that was for you, how your experience was with that. All right, but it definitely was a lot better, and I think the biggest reason, besides defenders winning quicker and actually generating pass rush moves, it's the speed in which they were rushing. The get off increased significantly. It kind of reminded me a little bit of pass rush aggressive from years past, when you would go to coaching adjustments and set your pass rush aggressive on, where they would immediately, like, as soon as you hike the ball, they're going, right? They have their ears pinned back. They are going. That's kind of like how it is. It's a very aggressive style rush in pretty much every single defense you're in. So the get off is quick. The linebackers, if you're blitzing them with like a loop blitz or crossfire, or even just a straight B gap rush, they're blitzing in quickly. Defensive ends that are coming in free with, let's say, a nickel normal, or obviously there's ways to get guys coming in free. They're coming in quickly, a lot faster. Nickelback blitzes for sure. That was like one of the worst things I hated, especially about current gen. When I tried to jump on current gen, I couldn't come up with any real blitzes in Madden 22 current gen that involved a defensive back blitzing, because their angle was terrible and they blitzed so slowly. Their pursuit was bad, and they just took a long time to actually react and go. This year for Madden 23, I don't know how it's going to be on current gen, but definitely on next gen I see a difference. They really just immediately go. Like, as soon as you hike the ball, they're off, and you feel it. It's edge pressure is a lot better in this game than in last year's game. But it's not just edge pressure. You can get B gaps. You can get defensive end coming in free. You can get disengages. That's another thing, guys. Like, you can still get disengaged with the defensive tackle, and when they come in free, they're coming in quicker. So everything is faster. Okay, you really have to think on the offensive side of the ball, and you really have to have check down routes. You have to have routes that are short, because you cannot only throw deep in Madden 23. If you have multiple routes that are deep in Madden 23, you're more than likely going to get sacked. If you think before you hike the ball, hey, I'm looking for a deep shot, hey, I'm looking for a 1-point touchdown, hey, I'm looking for a corner route or a post route or a crosser that's going to get me 40 yards, more than likely you're probably going to get sacked because you only have roughly like 3 seconds at the most in a lot of cases that you're going to have to get the pass off. And if you don't have an ability on your quarterback, which we'll make a separate video on quarterback abilities, but no abilities, the release is slower for the quarterback, right? So then you need to throw the ball even quicker. I would say you typically 2 seconds is what you get without like a free rusher. If you're facing like a standard 4-man rush, unless it's like a super instant win, which can happen with edge threat or any defensive line ability, you're going to have about 2 seconds. Now you could have more, but that's where you want to start your internal clock at 2 seconds. You want to probably get the ball off. And you can't really do much in 2 seconds, right? Especially against a man press. So like I think man press can be really good. Again, we'll make a separate video on that. But like also like match coverage, a lot of ways to beat match is deeper crossers or things like that. But you don't really have the time to hit crossers and posts and I mean you can hit corners. Corners are a little bit quicker, but cross field type things like one side to the other, you need like 4+ seconds, and you don't really always have that. And I'm not saying you can't throw, like you can't have crossers and posts on the field. I still would do that, but it's more so of a high-low in between the numbers, right? If you have like a slant and then a post on the opposite side, you really want to hit that post in the middle of the field, and you want to utilize the new passing mechanics, the way you can lead the passes, which again we'll make separate videos on the new way to pass the ball. But you don't really always want to have a deep crosser from the left side going to the right side. By the time he gets that right sideline, you're more than likely going to get sacked, and you can't really roll out. So that's another thing. Contains are much improved in this game, and like really they are really good. If you have contains out there, you're not rolling out. Even without contains, the way that they made the defensive lineman rush, they disengage quickly to the outside and they follow the quarterback as he's rolling out. So rolling out is difficult. When you do successfully roll out in those rare situations, you better be rolling out to your strong hand, because if you're rolling out, let's say you're right-handed and you roll out to the left, you cannot throw the ball deep on the run, especially cross-body. Like you cannot, like if you're going to roll out left and you're right-handed quarterback, you better be throwing like maybe a corner route as you're going that way, and maybe something short like a slant or a drag, but anything deeper than that, it's not going to happen. You're going to throw a completely inaccurate ball. And that's not to mention QB pressure penalties, right? Where, you're throwing the ball inaccurately because of the pressure. So that's something that is a little concerning to me if someone has like under pressure or something like that, to where defensive tackle sheds and is coming at the quarterback and it makes you throw a bad ball, when the pass rush is just so much faster now and coverage is a little bit tighter. Coverage is definitely better than Madden 22. They defend deep bomb plays better. There are ways to manipulate coverages, manipulate any type of zone match, and also win against man-to-man. But again, in a lot of cases, you need time, and you don't always have that time to get a huge explosive play. Those are definitely limited in this game, and that seems pretty realistic to me, and I kind of like that, in my opinion. You have to have a mindset offensively where you got to make them kind of respect the run game, and the run game isn't that great in Madden 23, so we'll make another video on that. But you want to at least mix that up a little bit. Can you just max protect? No, you can't. That's another thing. So like gun bunch, a lot of people are concerned gun bunch is going to be the meta again. Why a lot of people have that concern is because it's a lot of formations were taken out in this game. Playbooks are pretty stale. We'll do another video on that. Again, we're going to be doing so many videos throughout the course of July. But gun bunch still has a lot of good plays. But you don't really have much time when you max protect. Like that was such a big thing with gun bunches. You're able to max protect easily, and then you have a post to either side. Like you have all the routes. Well, max protecting doesn't really work that great because tight ends don't block good anymore. They don't block anywhere near as good as an offensive lineman. So if you are max protecting and you're facing a defensive end on that side that's good, and you're also like, it's a wide alignment, let's say it's a spread defensive line look or a wide 9 double A gap, which I was running a lot in the beta, and you have a good defensive end there, and he's one-on-one on a tight end, he's going to shed him quickly, sometimes instant win. So you're not going to, even max protecting, a lot of the times you're not going to have those 4 seconds. You might still have 3 seconds, sometimes even less. Running back blocking is also bad. So it's like the pass rush is good, but you're also, the blocking isn't good. And again, we'll make separate videos on blocking and blitzing and things like that, but they all tie in together, so I want to mention that as we're going through these videos. So to conclude with pass rushing, let's see if trying to think if I got everything. You still need to blitz 4 guys technically, so if you're blitzing 3, you want to blitz your user, or maybe you can add a spy, I believe, 3 and a spy, or 3 plus your user blitzing. But it's tough. Like, yes, a 3-man rush, let's say like nickel 3-3-5, could be good. The thing is you really want to have good pocket presence. That's another thing I want to mention. If they're sending a 3-man rush and the defensive ends are spread out and they're one-on-one with the tackles, yes, they can shed the tackles and win pretty quickly. You have to step up in the pocket against something like that, because then there's only one defensive tackle in the middle, and he's going to be facing 3 interior offensive linemen, right? 2 guards and a center. 2 of them are going to double team this guy. You should be able to step up in the pocket and take off. There are ways to take off in the pocket up the middle. There are also ways to roll out. It's just really not your game plan, right? Like, you kind of just making the reads and maneuvering with your quarterback to try to buy time, but it's not that easy. That's all I'm going to say. But you have to, like, if it's a 3-man rush, you should be able to buy time. 4-man rush and above, it's very difficult. Oh, last thing I want to talk about is chipping pass rushers. So yes, you can still delay your tight end. You can delay your running back. Because of how good delay routes were last year and the year before, they changed it to where they auto-release, right? Like, you can't actually manually release them by pressing the button. So they release pretty quickly, and a lot of times you get instant sheds. Someone, like, you'll get a quick chip, but it's like barely, and then the offensive line doesn't pick them up. It seems to be better where you actually are in a compressed set, or you have multiple tight ends, and you put the tight end on a route, and he'll actually run into the pass rusher prior to going on his route, or as he's going on his route, which chips the pass rusher, and it makes it easier for the offensive linemen, especially the tackles, to then pick them up. And even if it buys you a half second, that's a half second needed to get maybe not a 1-play touchdown, maybe not even a 30-yard play, but a 15-yard crosser, or, you know, a drag or a flat or a wheel, whatever it is. It gives you enough time. So there are cases where you might want to be able to send 5 out, or four guys out with 1 guy blocking, but you have a tight end or compressed tight set where, let's say, a slant or streak runs into the end, chips him, and then he doesn't come in as quick. He doesn't get that instant win, right? So that is something. Just be a little bit careful with, if you are blocking a running back, he doesn't block that great. So there are going to be times where you want to get guys out there because blocking is not so good, and chipping the defensive linemen or the outside linebackers is definitely a way to go. One final thing, I keep saying final, but this is going to be the final thing of the video, is going to be play action versus non-play action. Play action, you don't have as much time as you did in previous years. Like, you think about last year, like PA boot over, it felt like you had so much time, especially that you were able to roll out immediately after the play action. With edge threat or even without edge threat, you got a good animation. Now, you can still get a decently good animation when rolling out, but the defensive linemen are going to stop that like a lot better. You're not going to be able to get out of the pocket even though you have good movement with the quarterback. Again, no escape artist, fellas. Escape artist is now an X factor. Escape artist is not an ability anymore. It's an X factor. So that's one of the huge things that you just can't roll out to the outside. So you kind of have to stay in the pocket and dot. So play action plus escape artist is not going to be a huge thing. And then also, as far as the offensive linemen and how they block, they don't hold on to their blocks as good as they did last year. I do think still play action blocking, like when you actually run a play action and cancel it or go through it, they don't win. Like the defensive line doesn't win as quick. But I do think that blitzes work better against it. I feel like linebacker blitzes or nickel back blitzes, if you run the play action, I feel like they come in quicker. Whereas on regular passing plays, the defensive linemen win quick, but the blitz isn't as strong. That might not be something that might not even be a thing. That might just be placebo. That's something that I noticed, though, that I think play action, the defensive line doesn't shed as quick immediately. But as soon as you start blitzing linebackers and things, like you send 6 or whatever, they scream in and you get a sack on the quarterback against play action, which is pretty cool if that is actually true. That's just something I noticed. So that's all for this one. Guys, definitely let me know your thoughts and how you feel about pass rush in the comments below. Probably also going to be posting this to our Discord so we can start a Discord conversation there. We're going to be revamping the Discord. We're going to be revamping the website, the logo, rebranding. We really want to make Madden Daily as great as possible this year. And these videos are just the start. So guys, I'm going to see you in the next video, a new topic for Madden 23 tomorrow. This one was pass rush. Let me know your thoughts. Is it too OP? Maybe just OP on all Madden? Or is it both OP on all pro? Is it fine on both? Is Mud okay but Regs isn't? Let me know your thoughts. Till next time, it's Lights. Later.